staggering numbers. And obviously, creation of this massive data is having a huge impact on the overall business environment. Because of creation of this data and the connectivity, businesses are becoming a lot more integrated and a lot more competitive. Technology is virtually changing the way we live, the way we do business, and it's changing the way how governments govern people and countries. And if we have to create a meaningful impact as business people for our organizations or as government functionaries, we have to make this shift from the conventional analog to be a digitally driven Pakistan. If you look at some of the stats in our own country, and if you look at the extent of the digital divide, 34% is the internet penetration in Pakistan compared to a global average of 60%. Now, what does this mean for us today? Clearly, what we need to realize is that Pakistan is primed for this digital revolution. And it's a great opportunity for us to leapfrog. And we've seen this play out before also. So if you go back a couple of decades, where we were in terms of our landline penetration, and even up until 2016, December of 2016, the total landline connections in Pakistan are about 3 million, whereas total number of mobile users are well over 100, 110, 120 million. So it is what is presented in front of us is an opportunity to leapfrog. And obviously this will result in tremendous benefits for everyone, economic benefits, social benefits, political benefits for all the people. Technology can help empower our farmers, and I'll talk a bit more about it in detail later on. It can reach the unbanked through mobile banking, and it can even help policymakers by analyzing data and doing predictive analysis. But I think the most important thing is that it will help the entrepreneurs of the country who are investing in tech-enabled businesses. It will open the global markets for them. So now coming to what do we need to do to unleash this potential in our country. And I think it first starts off with the recognition. It starts with the recognition that data and access to information via the internet is going to become a fundamental human right. And when we have that recognition, that is when we are able to take the necessary steps as people, as governments, as anyone, as a society. So this recognition that access to information, access to data is going to become a fundamental human right is the first step. We've got a lot of global practices that can help us put together the right connectivity infrastructure. We are fast coming to a time where 5G is going to be introduced, which will not only make our networks more efficient by almost 100x, but increase the download speeds by 25 to 30x. And we've seen this play out in other countries, that when internet is made available to people, it generates tremendous amount of economic value. So the first thing, again, after recognizing the fact that this is important, the first thing is to make sure that we create an environment whereby we are able to lay down the right connectivity infrastructure. But infrastructure alone obviously is not the only thing. The second thing that we need to realize is that we need to create the right ecosystem for Pakistan to take this leapfrog. This involves enabling software developers, this involves providing the right training facilities, because it is a complex ecosystem and cannot be done in a piecemeal approach. The biggest impediment, of course, for us is the fact that there are roughly 25 odd million children who are not going to school. And higher education is available to only 8% of the children. And this is a huge challenge. And if you look at unfortunately the current state of the economy, our fiscal deficits, it's very hard to imagine that the typical brick and mortar model of providing education is going to work in the long term. We are finding it extremely difficult to manage the current infrastructure that we have. Whether it's the physical infrastructure of schools or whether it's the ability of the current teachers to impart the right training to the people or education to the students. So if we have to address this huge challenge, it can only be made possible if we are able to use the technology platforms to impart education. And it's such a wonderful opportunity for us because via this medium, not only people or students who are sitting in small villages and don't have access to the more privileged people in cities, but they can have access to the same knowledge, same information, perhaps even the same teachers via the internet. So it is, I think it's time that we start looking at this as an opportunity. I know the education minister, when he was here last time and Asfar organized a session with him, mentioned that in Pakistan there is a need for us to unify all the different curriculum and syllabi that we have. Using technology will make that very, very easy and simple for us. So this daunting task of providing education to a growing population can be made possible using technology. There are about 1.5 million people who are added to the workforce every year. And as we know, over the next 2 years, we're looking at a difficult period in our country where the economic growth will be relatively low and we're already seeing signs of it. So it's incredibly important for us as a society, as government, as businesses, to create that infrastructure which allows for creation of more employment. We need to focus more on STEM education, whereby people will be able to access or to address global markets. My favorite example or rather, I think I would go to the extent of saying that future of Pakistan depends on agriculture. What we've been through over the last 20, 25 years is very evident that unless and until Pakistan increases its exports, our economic model won't work. Because each time we've gone through phases of growth, being a very consumer-oriented economy, we always blow up the current account deficit because people make more money, they go through phases of growth, imports grow to staggering levels, but exports have failed to keep up. And I believe that for any country to move from a developing country to a developed country, it is essential for that country to be able to sell its products and services to the rest of the world. No country in history has been able to progress if it can't offer products and services to the rest of the world. And that is our Achilles heel. Our exports have not grown to the extent that they should have grown. And there are a number of reasons behind it. I'm not going to go into details, but I do want to emphasize that we need to find new engines of growth as far as exports are concerned. And the agriculture sector in Pakistan, which is already a $60 billion sector, employs about 40% people, is critical not only to feed twice as many people by 2050 within the country, but it is definitely a source for dollars for us, which is extremely critical for our economy. And if you look at the whole value chain of agriculture, starting from crop selection to financing, and financing is something we all know that the informal methods of financing are used in agriculture to the tune of 70-80% per annum, whether it's usage of inputs, evaluating or forecasting weather patterns. It's an absolute disaster when it comes to efficiency and agriculture productivity. There are interventions required at every stage of the agri-value chain. And it can only be made possible with technology. We've got 8 million farmers. Gone are the days when you could go on the backs of motorcycles to train people. There have to be technology, medium. The internet has to be used to provide them the necessary training on which crops they should grow, what kind of farming techniques they need to follow, provide them key information about the weather, enable affordable financing for them using mobile platforms, and then in the end giving them the right market information with regards to pricing, etc. It is a fundamental sector for us as far as the future of our economy is concerned, and it can only be turned around if we make the right technology interventions. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much again, Asfar, for doing this conference. All the best to you, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Khan, for the address and also for highlighting what is important for Pakistan's future. And now the stage last, ladies and gentlemen, for our next address, please to welcome the Vice President of OICCI, Mr. Jasad Dada.